Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm so excited you're here with me. I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds because I do know that it does take a couple of seconds sometimes to connect with my Facebook group as well. But I'm so excited that you are here. And I'm Yvonne Stanton with Your Total Wellness. I'm a nutrition, fitness, and mindset coach. And I'm so excited that you are here. What a great topic today. And I'm excited to share some of the 3 myths stopping women over 40 from losing stubborn belly weight. It's one of these things that I hear all the time. Who's with me? What have you tried? What have you tried in the past? What do you think has been the reason for you? I'm just checking and make sure I am live on my Facebook, which I am. Because here's the thing with this belly fat, there's so much that changes in our body once we get into our 40s, right? So think about in your 20s and your 30s and life is good and you're dating, you get married, you have children, we're being more active. And then all of a sudden we hit 40 and our body starts changing, hormones can start changing. And oh, hey, Angela, so great to have you here. Great to see you. And then all of a sudden, what happens is whatever you've been doing in the past and whatever you've been eating starts showing up, right? So things that you could eat in the past, like ice cream or chocolate, and what are some of the things I talked about? Even the cravings, and you may not find this so much in your 40s. It might be getting later in your 40s, right? You're craving more sweets, you're having more pasta, you're looking for chips, sugar, carbs, like all these things are having too much, right? Who's been there? I totally get it. Okay. Because sometimes we're not looking and we're not being actually present in our eating habits, right? Because all of a sudden, if you're eating mindlessly and you're looking now for food, because in your 20s and your 30s, when you're looking after small children, you're running around more, you're picking them up, you're dropping them off, you're working, like we're just busier, aren't we? In our 20s and our 30s. And normally 40s, you've got a family to look after. You're now looking after kids, possibly husbands, partners. And then in your 50s, you could be now looking after, grandkids and even aging parents. Does that make sense? So our lives start changing. And I'm going to share one little story with you. I was coaching a client this week, and she ran into a long-term friend that she hasn't seen in a long time. And they got talking that her long-term friend wanted to go to yoga with her. And she didn't think she could go to the 5:30 class because she had to look after her husband. And my client actually said, "This is your time. You've done enough. You need to look after you and look after what's happened in your own life and to put yourself first." Because unfortunately, women, what we do as nurturers, it's like we wear this badge, the badge of we'll look after everything, and we take it on like it's supposed to be on top of everything else we do. And then you wake up one day and you've put on, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds because of the years that you didn't look after and make yourself a priority because you were putting other people in front. So you wake up, you're feeling now uncomfortable, right? It's draining. It's exhausting. And you can start to think about it and look at yourself in the mirror and say, what happened? And you're not alone, because this happens to so many people, so many women, okay? And then what you're doing over this course of time, when you start seeing it, you go and you start thinking about what you're eating, and you start thinking about, you need to have more, let's talk about the extreme things, okay? That usually are the first thing we look at. Doing the diet world, low carb, keto, high protein shakes, limiting calories to a deficit of your body just literally just shuts down, intermittent fasting. There's all these things, and or going to the gym, trying to think that you can exercise out the weight, and the things that you maybe could do in your 20s and 30s just doesn't seem to work now. Yeah. And this is where we are. We're in this plateau that you don't know what you're doing. And as we're aging, we need to think of our bones. We need to be thinking of our strength, our muscle. There's so many other things that we need to be putting into place that supports this journey and this new lifestyle and these new habits for you to start shedding, start releasing the weight. And we release the weight not by dieting. And there is the more people talk about and blame, it's midlife, it's menopause, it's this and this and this, is basically taking the control that we have and putting in good habits, daily habits, to outweigh those things that you keep telling yourself. Okay. So myth 1, okay, is, as long as I burn more calories than I take in, my weight will drop. Who's been there? I taste that one. Definitely. And you can't out exercise calories, food, right? You just can't. Your body's different now. You could do it in your 20s and your 30s. You could just not eat one day or exercise like a fiend and the weight would be gone. Yeah. But now it doesn't work. And it doesn't work because our bodies are different and we need to look at things in a different perspective. More kindness, more long-term results, because you haven't taken care of yourself for a long time to be where you are right now. And we need to do it in a healthy, sustainable way. Okay. So how our metabolic rate has changed over time because we're not doing the same things that we used to when we were in our 20s and 30s and even early 40s. We become more sedentary, right? We're not moving as much. We're sitting more. We're not twisting. Like, think about when we're younger, we're doing all these different things. And now we live this parallel, right? We're not doing much anymore. And this is also a reason why our metabolic rate drops, is because we're not putting out as much as we're aging. Doesn't mean you can't change this. These are just explaining why, what are the things that you need to look at in order to start seeing, a change. So then all of a sudden, those calories from doing all those other things that you were doing, or the energy that you were doing, isn't happening, and you're eating more and possibly eating the wrong foods that's not giving you the right nutrients, because 1 calorie is 1 calorie, right? It doesn't matter if you think about having a pasta. The pasta is so many calories and bread is so many calories, and or protein, or chickpeas, which is a protein, a carb and a protein, right? They're calories and their energy, but they are not the same, right? This is when we talk about macros. Like, there's calories, there's macros. They're very different. And we need to be fueling our body what is best for our body, our age, our activity, and new activities that we need to start doing in our life. Myth 2 is cutting out the carbs. And you guys know I talk about carbs all the time. We need the right carbohydrates in our body. The ones that you want to cut down definitely are the white carbs, which is your breads, which is your cakes. They are not helping you in the long term of releasing the weight. They will add to you now. Just because the body is not working at its optimal and not actually allowing yourself to have the right nutrient values to get more activity in your body. And it's sort of not saying you can't have bread, because then that's a restrictive diet, but we need to look at the where we're getting our nutrients from. And if you're joining me in my Facebook group, pop down some comments for me. If you're here in my YouTube, please put down some comments for me so I can come back as well. Okay. So if you can't out exercise the weight gain, this is the mentality. If you think that you can't out exercise the weight, then you're going to cut back on the carbs. But the carbs actually help us with energy, right? Protein is a different source. Protein helps keep our muscles. We need protein because it acts as we're aging. It helps us with our protein in our muscles, because we're losing a muscle ratio quite rapidly in our 40s and beyond. But you got to cut out the right carbs, okay? Not all of them. And going on and doing other kinds of limiting diets. I'm still going to call them a diet because it's limiting. If it's keto, if it's paleo, you're restricting certain nutrients that our body needs, okay? And we need good bacterias and probiotics, and there's fiber, right? Got to make sure a protein doesn't have fiber. We need fiber. Carbs give us fiber. The good carbs, right? We got good bacteria and we got bad bacteria. That is our gut health. If our gut health isn't working properly, that's a really big thing we need to be looking at. So there's so many studies and so many things that are happening in your life now. We've got the fat storage, we've got hormone release, we've got our metabolism, we've got the cortisol striking, going up if you're in any kind of stress mode. And it feels so overwhelming that at times you feel like giving it away. And that's when you go and you just go and you have your binge on whatever that food is. Yeah, I understand. I do. And then there's myth 3 is if I lose enough weight, my belly will go away. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that either, because the belly is holding on to some of the cortisol. It is holding on to the fats. We've got to be doing the right thing to help the belly fat, and exercise and strength training is absolutely where you want to be going down that road to help yourself, to help build that muscle in your belly to have the strength. No matter how much weight someone wants to manage and to lose in their belly, sometimes it just doesn't budge, right? 90% of women don't know. Having a bulging belly does not necessarily mean that you're overweight as well. There's gut bacteria. Unhealthy bacteria causes a buildup of gas in the intestines. Bloating. Too much fiber, not enough fiber. It's all this bacteria, right? We got to find out what is the root cause of the belly, the poor gut health in our health, for that next step for you. I remember feeling I had days where I'd be so bloated. I'd look like I was having a baby. And it was hard. And that was a bit of a symptom of IBS, right? Irritable bowel syndrome. That can be caused from foods, but a lot of times it's coming from a root cause, which is deeper than that, which is usually coming from some sort of stress or just bad gut health, not having the right bacteria. We got to have that balance of good bacteria and too much bad bacteria. And how many times are you going to the washroom? Number 2's floaty poos. Really, I talk about this to my clients all the time. How many times you're going to the toilet? We've got to have that balance, that everything is working synergetically for ourselves. And probiotics are probably something that maybe you need and adding in to your diet as we're aging. So there's a lot of reasons why this belly fat doesn't want to go away. And I wish I could say it's just go do this and it's going to help, but it doesn't. It needs to sometimes go back into the root cause. So if you are sitting here and you're not sure what it is, I want you to think about, what have you been eating? Are you going number twos? Do you have enough fiber in your diet? What are the carbs that you're eating? Are you getting enough protein? And do a full analysis on yourself and be more accountable to yourself. Because the probiotics, which help in our proteins and our gut health, is really important. And believe it or not, it does come a time where we're just not efficiently even iron. You maybe need some iron in your system. And these are things that also probably you might need to get all your blood work done to make sure that all your levels are working perfectly. Look at magnesium. We got to also look at supplements. Really important, magnesium. Every woman should be taking additional magnesium, especially if you're going through menopause and having hot flushes and sweating a lot, right? It helps your legs. It helps with recovery of muscle, restless legs, sleeping. I take mine at night. It helps with a better sleep. So I hope this is helping you understand why these myths happen and why there's so much belief that is out there. Because it's not so much, the myths are there for advertising, but it's also because you have changed in your life from what you were doing before. When I get clients that say, at this age, like 20 years ago, this is what I look like. And then we go through what's been going on in their life in the past 20 years. And I go, well, that's what's happened, right? We can go through all of those things. We talk about emotion. We talk about what's happened, any kind of stress, any kind of work-related, parents, kids, all this other stuff. And then they look at themselves and go, oh my gosh. And we got to start building up some new habits that are healthier habits that help them start feeling better about themselves. And then all of a sudden things start shifting. Okay. So I hope this is helping you. I hope that you're getting some information here today to start thinking about yourself in making yourself more of a priority in getting that health looked after. Okay. Really important to be looking at yourself and taking responsibility and not thinking it's something that a cause of something, even though it's a cause and a react, like we are reacting to something that happens to us, but we have to be looking at ourselves and thinking, do I eat well? Am I eating the right foods? Quantity matters. Portion size matters. All these things matter. So I hope this has helped you today. And I want you to know, if you need anything, just pop down in the comments. You can always book a call with me. My link is down below. If you're in my Facebook group, I have my masterclass coming up tomorrow. So hopefully you're on my masterclass, because we'll be digging into a little bit more of all this stuff tomorrow. And I'm really excited to be going through this with you. So I hope taken some notes. I hope you're looking now at maybe what has happened and some of the myths that you think that has happened just from that. Great. I'm glad you've got some great help, Angela. Wonderful. Great to get some feedback. So have a fabulous day or night, and share my YouTube page, please. And get the message out. You know, we want to be living a longevity life and sustainable lifestyle forever, right? So what I'm always talking about, the sustainable lifestyle. And this is the strategies I help my clients get through to actually start living the life that they want to live in their 50s and beyond. So thank you, everybody. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.